If you're a fan of Autocar India, then you'll know that we really like this car. It looks good, it's extremely well packaged, it's got a lot of features and it's well priced too. But you'll also know that we're not really fond of what's under the hood, the 1-litre petrol engine. Now what Renault have done is they've strapped an AMT or an automated manual transmission to the same power plant. AMTs aren't really the best when it comes to, well, ease of driving and smoothness and things like that. So what has it done to the engine and the drive experience? Well, let's take a look and find out. So the first thing I like is the fact that there is a traditional gear lever and with the option of manual controls, unlike the Kwid AMT that has a dial and with no option of manual intervention at all. Now the thing with AMT is because they are regular manual transmissions, right, and you just have actuators which are actually pressing a clutch, releasing it and changing gears, by nature they don't have creep or function. In a traditional automatic, a fluid coupling, there's always power being transmitted, and as soon as you lift your foot off the brake, you tend to roll forward. In an AMT, you have to engineer that, and I'm glad that Renault have done that with the Triber, because when they launched the Kwid, they didn't actually have a creep function, whereas they did add it later, of course. And with the Triber, thankfully, it's here from day one. So all you got to do is put it into D, lift the brake pedal off, and we're rolling. The engagement itself is nice and smooth, but it's slow, and you'll see that's pretty much the tone with the rest of the shifts too. Okay, so I'm going to get straight into the gearbox and basically talking to you about how good or bad it is, because the rest of the car, well, it's technically the same. In fact, the manual and the AMT are both identical down to the trim levels and all of what they offer. So if you want to check out the entire review of the Triber, well, it's on our YouTube channel and hopefully you've subscribed to that. If not, well, then go ahead and do so right now. And of course, hit that bell icon so you'll be notified every time we post a new video. Now in start-stop traffic, the gearbox is slow. It isn't the best around there for sure. Gear shifts are a little slow and lazy, but having said that, the benefit is, well, they're not too jerky. You know, they kind of roll smoothly one into the other. But if you're in a hurry and you want to get a move on, well, yeah, you're going to find this a little slow and you will have to probably move into manual mode. The good thing in manual mode is it lets you rev till the red line, so it won't second guess you and upshift, so you can retain some of that performance. And that's a really good thing for this engine particularly, because its strength, well, relatively speaking, its strength lies in the top end. The bottom end is a little weak. The mid-range though is a little better compared to the manual, and that's because Renault have actually tuned this differently. Thanks to that different mid-range tune, at around 3000 RPM, there's a nice stronger push. But this comes at a small price. AMTs typically return the same mileage as their manual counterparts, or in some cases, even a slightly higher figure, thanks to the computer-controlled shifts. However, going by the ARAI figures, the Triber AMT drops by about 0.7 km per litre. But it's a small price to pay for that slightly better drive experience. Another good thing about the AMT is it kind of masks the lack of power of the 1-litre unit. Now, the engine, as you know, is identical, the power outputs are the same, but what the AMT does is the software kind of always keeps it more or less in that power band. And so when you do want to move along and small changes in pace, well, there is always power. With the manual, I noticed that you tend to, well, maybe be a little lazy about gear shifts and you leave it in a higher gear, and then when you need power, well, it isn't there and you need to downshift, or sometimes you just let it run through and bear with it. Well, in the AMT that's not the case, because the software always keeps it in more or less the right rev range. Of course, if you do want to get a quick move on, stomp your foot down, but there is a pause and then you get power. So yeah, oddly enough, and I never thought I'd be saying this, but I'm actually enjoying the AMT more than I did the manual. And that's really down to the better mid-range and the fact that the software always keeps you in an acceptable power range. So is this the better buy? Yes, along with a better mid-range drive experience and the convenience of auto shifts, the AMT is available in 3 of the 4 current trims, including the top end, so you don't compromise on features opting for the auto. And with a price range between 6.25 to 7.29 lakh, they are 40,000 rupees more than the manuals, and that's pretty much a premium you'd expect to pay for an AMT. Yes, power is still a deficit. You'll have to hope that the upcoming turbo engine brings it. But at this price point, there's really nothing else that can offer you the convenience of an auto, along with the features, comfort and space of a genuine 7-seater.